So, episode kicks off with our main guy, Yokoya, passed out in his messy room. Like, seriously, trash everywhere. Suddenly, the doorbell rings. Yokoya's like, "Hold up, I'm coming." And when he checks, boom. There's this gorgeous girl standing outside saying he could hire her as a maid. Next day, Yokoya actually brings her in, apologizing for the disaster of a place. He's like, "Sorry, my parents aren't home, so yeah, it's a mess. Let me grab you some juice." But deep down, he's suspicious, thinking, should I even let her in? Is she really here for a maid job or something shady? So he straight up asks if she's worked as a maid before and what she's good at. She calmly says she's great at handling people who betray her master, like as in assassinating them. Yokoya's just staring, thinking, you're joking, right? But nope, she's dead serious. He's trying not to tick her off, so he changes the topic and asks what methods she's skilled in. Next thing you know, she drags him outside, pulls out a bunch of knives from who knows where, jumps insanely high, and starts throwing them at lightning speed. Yokoya's freaking out. She's like, "So, what do you think of my skills? I always keep knives on me so I can show off anytime." Yokoya, still terrified, tells her there's no one he wants dead, and that he doesn't even know the guy who recommended her. Basically, he's not hiring her. So the maid looks all sad and says, "Thanks for your valuable time. I'll be going now," packs her bag and heads out. Yokoya finally breathes a sigh of relief until he realizes she left something behind. Meanwhile, she's still walking away thinking, what was I even expecting? What do I do now? She's lost in thought when, boom, Yokoya comes running after her. He's like, "Maid-san, you forgot this," holding a small bell in his hand. But right then, a moving truck nearly hits him. She's shocked, sprints over, and yanks him to safety. Yokoya's stunned, and she's blushing hard, saying she's never directly saved anyone before, and now her heart's racing. He gives her the bell back, she thanks him again, and starts to leave. But Yokoya feels bad and stops her, saying he's actually looking for someone to help clean his place. Could she do that? Cut to Yokoya bringing her back inside. She immediately starts talking about her knives again, and he's like, No, I just mean cleaning, like vacuuming." She goes, "Oh, so you mean you want me to get rid of a body in those bags?" He's like, "What? No, just trash. Just clean it like a housekeeper." She confirms, "So if I do housekeeping, you'll hire me?" Next scene, Yokoya is shocked to see she has zero cleaning skills. She apologizes, then slips on some water but manages a perfect landing using her association skills, only for the bucket to fall and hit her on the head. Yokoya looks at her and says, "Maid-san, you're kinda clumsy." That stings a bit. She apologizes again for messing up. He takes the bucket off her head and says, "I shouldn't put you in jobs you're not good at. From now on, you'll start fresh, and I'll help you learn. Deal?" She's honestly shocked, but says yes right away. Next scene, they've teamed up and actually cleaned the whole living room. Yokoya's super happy, thanks her, and she's a little surprised but also touched. Then he's like, "It's already evening, I'm starving. Maid-san, can you cook?" She looks down, clearly not confident. He tells her not to worry. He's got a special dish planned, so she should just go get ready. While she's bathing, she can't stop blushing, thinking about him. We learn his full name, Hitoyoshi Yokoya, a first-year high schooler spending summer vacation alone since his parents are away. But now he's all flustered because a mysterious assassin maid suddenly showed up and is currently in his bathroom. He's expecting her to walk out in just a towel, but nope, she's fully dressed. He's kinda disappointed. Cut to Hitoshi handing her a cabbage to chop. She pulls out her assassin skills and slices it at lightning speed. Impressed, Hitoshi brings out his prized pork meat. She stares at it and goes, "Pork meat? What does that even mean?" He's shocked. She's heard of it but doesn't really eat much. Says she never cares about how food tastes or looks. Hitoshi then goes full foodie mode, explaining how important flavor and presentation are, and that this pork is from the best shop in town. She's still not that interested and just asks, "So, do we start now?" As they're setting the table, Hitoshi goes, "By the way, Miss Maid, what's your real name?" She looks down and says she doesn't have one. Her master just calls her whatever they want, so he can too. Hitoshi nods and says, "All right, for now, I'll just call you Miss Maid." So they start eating, and as soon as the maid tries the pork, Yokoya leans in all excited. "Well, how is it?" She stays calm and says, "Honestly, I can't tell if it's good or bad, but it's so different from anything I had in my past life. It's warm, just like bathing here, and living here." We get a quick flashback. Since childhood, she's been forced into assassination work. Over time, her heart froze completely. Food, names, nothing mattered. But now, something's different. Back in the present, Yokoya notices she's eating plain meat. "Maid-san, try it with this sauce." The moment she does, her eyes light up. She actually likes it. Cut to later that night, Yokoya wakes from a bad dream, teary-eyed, and heads to the kitchen for food. But then he hears noises and panics, thinking the maid's in the middle of an assassination. Turns out, she's just chowing down on that sauce again. She spots him, gets flustered, and apologizes. He calms her down. "You must be hungry too. Come on, I'll cook something." She admits, "Whenever I feel like I might die tomorrow, I think, why not taste this sauce one more time before I go?" They end up sitting together on the balcony, eating peacefully. Afterward, she suddenly asks, "Yokoya-sama, did you have a scary dream?" He's surprised. "Why do you ask?" She explains she heard noises from his room earlier, thought maybe an assassin had come, and went to check. He realizes she must have seen him sleeping and feels embarrassed. "Did I say anything in my sleep?" She nods. "You kept calling out, 'Mom, Mom.' I was dreaming too, about a giant sauce bottle telling me I could never finish it. And just when I was about to take a bite, I woke up." Yokoya just stares at her, completely baffled. Then the maid says, "I've always had dreams about either killing someone or seeing someone get killed. Because of that, I never really felt any emotions. But today, everything felt so different. When I saw you having a bad nightmare, I felt terrible because I didn't even know how to comfort you." Yoko replies, "You don't need to worry so much. I've had nightmares like this since I was a kid. Back then, I'd sleep in my mom's lap and the nightmares would go away." Hearing this, the maid says, "Then, why don't you sleep in my lap?" Yoko immediately blushes and says, "That was when I was a kid. Now I'm a grown man. I've gone through puberty and I'm just like any other normal guy. I can't do that." Hearing this, the maid's face turns sad again. In her mind, she thinks, "I'm just not made for this kind of thing." Somewhere in her head, she hears a voice saying, "You're good for nothing. You're a cold-hearted person. All you can do is kill people." But then, Yoko rests his head on her lap. At that moment, all of her dark and heavy thoughts just fade away. Yoko, still blushing hard, hears the maid say, "Master Yoshi, can you really sleep like this?" Yoko, embarrassed but calm, says, "All right." And this is where our story begins, the story of how a lonely maid starts her very own family. And with that, our episode comes to an end. So friends, if you want the next episode, make sure to leave as many comments and likes as you can. The more likes and comments there are, the sooner I'll bring you the next episode. See you in the next one. Until then, goodbye, take care, and sayonara.